All right, so if I push this button, move the camera, then we can push this button. Remember, use the reverse spawn.
With the right buttons, ladies and gentlemen, even you can become a professional sportscaster.
Anybody can do this. It's so easy, Zap. It's so easy. All right, let's get going. Game 1, GGWP and RESIN. Talk to me about the GGWP lineup here on Northern Waters.
All right, GGWP has Fuzzballs in the Daring, utility build, Destroy Avelius in the Ragnar, range build for them. Bullet.
No. Well, okay, he's got range skill, but reload mod.
Yeah. Bullet Justice in the COTS build gearing. Yoshi 44 in a Torpedo Spec Yu Yang with radar. Rest in White in a Manitar. Jeepus in Napoli with secondaries. Flying Doge NA in another Manitar. Behind them, Battleships Mibuki, St. Vincent, the usual skills, and then the Giuseppe who's saying, well, I'll just sit and think about it before I start moving, in a Sniper Spec with, I like the DCP upgrade in slot 1.
I think that's a very underrated upgrade on a lot of different ships myself. So.
Totally.
All right, let's have a look at the RESIN lineup here in red. We got Eagle Lance's Ragnar booking it over to A. He's also running range and reload in slot 6. $1.99 for Guac in his own Manitar. He's actually running range in slot 6 on a Manitar. How curious.
Well, that could signal where he thinks he's going to go.
Indeed. Frice's Harugamo also running a range in skills and reload in upgrade slot 6. Peyton's St. Vincent. A little bit of extra heal, a little bit of fire prevention, a little bit of brisk. Big Boy's gearing. Going a little bit of torpedo reload, but really leaning into the smoke along with brisk and RPF. Headed up here to B. Elgar. Yep. Elgar over here. He's got top grade gunner, concealment, and legendary mod. Keyballs Vermont. Running all of the American plotting room shenanigans along with spotter plane duration and some survivability skills. Triarchs Des Moines, unique mod, top grade gunner, and Mad Dog's gearing, basically built out the same as Big Boy's back in mid.
Another COTS build. I love, by the way, Big Boy, look at the smoke he's laying right there. He's trying to make the enemy think that there's a Des Moines in that smoke, maybe a Minotaur in that smoke. It's already
just baiting out some torpedoes.
It's already baited out Yoshi's Deep Waters plus the torpedo reload. Those torps,
and the reload,
yeah, they're gonna get nothing out of those torps. I love it. It's look at the smoke screen though. Look how much of that land is or that water is just blocked.
It's interesting to see teams. For years, teams have used smoke to hide ships in. But as the game evolves and the meta of the game becomes more mature, we're starting to see teams use smoke more now for these kinds of plays where you're like baiting your opponent into thinking something is occurring that really isn't.
I love the mind games. A reminder that Marseille and Gdansk were banned in this particular game. Valus detected under Triarch's radar.
And an early radar at the A flank. Yep. Bullet Justice getting picked up from Eagle Lance.
Wow. Both RESIN side radars early, catching GGWP a little bit off balance.
Catching a little bit of damage, nothing catastrophic. Velius taking some hits. Bullet Justice taking some hits.
Yeah, it'll buff out for Velius.
Yeah. Velius can push his little heal button and go, nah, whatever.
Okay.
Frice's Harugamo smoke laying across the bottom of the A cap. Both teams running smoke across their respective sides of this cap, but not putting a ship in that smoke, just using it to deny long-range vision to the enemy team.
Well, and this is what we see happening a lot on this map is on the A side, there's a big smoke screen with a race to that middle island. And then over on the C side, there's a smoke screen typically on either side as well. But I really like the idea that neither team really cares to sit in or even behind the smoke screen. They're just kind of laying it for, I don't know, make it look cool on the map. And then we got kind of like an equal sign going.
Well, I think it's interesting, you know, in random battles, most people opt to sit in smoke because invariably there's somebody out there, you know, if you're playing behind smoke, there's probably somebody back here who'll have a plane up, or maybe there's a carrier in the game. Playing from behind smoke with a carrier in the game means the smoke is largely worthless.
Right.
for years and years and years in King of the Sea, of course, planes were a thing, and you sat in smoke rather than behind smoke. Because again, the carrier could just bring planes over and spot you anyway. But without planes sitting just behind a smoke screen, simply using smoke screen to shield the vision of the enemy team while you move ships around the map is a very valid strategy. It is in randoms too without a carrier on the board, and a lot of players just don't really take advantage of it.
Right. And actually today Hood and I caught a team that found a way to deal with that smoke with players sitting behind the smoke, and it was a thing of beauty. Of all things, Khabarovsk. They shoved a Khabarovsk all the way up the line on the side, and I think that was SRT, I believe. And they went all the way up along the side, got behind the smoke screen, and all of a sudden, like, woo, everybody spotted, and just ships started dying.
Yep.
It was crazy.
Right. And so that's a thing, like in King of the Sea, that's an excellent kind of counter tactic. It's just not one you see a lot of, right? Because it's difficult to achieve.
Right.
Well, for the moment, RESIN are the ones that own this island on the edge of the ACAP. This long duration radar from $1.99 for guac, really paying dividends as they're able to just carve more and more and more and more of Bullet Justice's health away between the Harugamo and the St. Vincent, while Eagle Lance's Ragnar bags the cap.
Yeah, very interesting setup there. Love every minute of that. It's fun to watch. Price also
very well executed.
Notably, Price also not taking that much damage as Flying Doge is just sitting there like, come on, shells, hit, damn it.
Price is playing little rudder games, backwards, forward, backwards, and that's the kind of stuff that really makes it difficult.
Peyton did not find a rock. Peyton did not find a rock to hide behind and took 2.
He did not. Good torpedoes there from Bullet Justice.
Kind of equalizes a little bit of what just happened.
More radar going up at mid. They tried to push fuzzballs off the cap with a radar from Elgar earlier. Weren't able to really land many shells. Yeah. Now the radar comes up from Eagle Lance's Ragnar as the shells go in on Yoshi's Yu Yang.
Yeah, remember, Yoshi does not have a heal, and also his radar is down for another minute and a half.
Yeah, he was radaring as well, I think, trying to catch one of these destroyers. I'm not sure he came up with anything.
No.
If he did, they didn't get much out of it.
No, now take a look at the Deep Waters and Kaga line all coming into this smoke screen south of B-Cap.
Elgar going to struggle here. Going to find a way to dodge them both, though.
Brown alert for Elgar. Hydro down everything. He just lazily hits forward.
Well, the next wave of Deep Waters is already on the way. He has no way to see them. The gearing's not there to screen for them. As Fuzzballs does manage to flip the B-Cap. And so the 50-ish point lead that GGWP, that RESIN has built will start to shrink.
That's right. Now,
more radar going up for Fuzzballs.
Take a look at on the one line. The torpedoes coming up right now from the Haragumo Fries. Just barely missed Bullet Justice. And Mabuki as well. Oof.
Elgar does take 1 deep water from that second wave. As Big Boy's gearing back onto B. They can see the gearing. Oh, they can see him because they're all spotted by the Minotaur Hydro. So Fry's just lazily murdering the gearing here, who's going to go down. Bullet Justice caught in the Hydro there, as Mabuki St. Vincent will be next on the menu.
That's a huge kill. And
that's a big one.
That means RESIN gets first blood. It took 9 minutes and change.
That is a big one indeed. It's a 150-point lead and growing now for RESIN as they flip the B-Cap back in their favor.
Ooh, nice hit there on Mabuki from, I think that's the Vermont even.
Vermont's got his plane up. Guns we're looking in that general direction. Wouldn't shock me.
Yep. Price is just sitting here like, all right, you want to turn this way? Cool.
Price playing a very dangerous game now. The Minotaur moves out, spotted on the surface by Yoshi. I have to wonder if he's going to radar here. Minotaur shells start coming in for $1.99.
Yeah, it's interesting he's choosing not to radar. I wonder if he's proxy spotted.
It might be actually, so it might not matter.
He's not proxy spotted. He's past 2.
Hydro's up. He can see the deep waters coming in, so he's going to retreat back behind the island.
Yeah, and now they'll proxy spot each other anyway.
Yep.
Unless 99 is able to stop in time. Nope.
No, spotting will work great. There goes the radar. A little bit of odd timing there, but it works. They can still see the St. Vincent. More Vermont shells came in a minute ago. Didn't come up with anything. The Ragnar in mid now getting into Mabuki's pain.
I almost feel like they were trying to bait out the deep waters on purpose so that Peyton could move up.
Possible. Another fire on Mabuki.
Could be the
crazy heal.
Could be a galaxy brain kind of play. I wouldn't be surprised if Resin does that kind of thing.
Mabuki healing, working on 2 fires now. More shells starting to come in. Eagle Lance swapping to AP now. As Price pretty much has the fire game locked up. There comes the bow fire.
Yep.
Mabuki knows it's over now. His heal is done, and there he goes.
All right, 2 kills for Resin.
Vito's coming in on Eagle Lance, but he's got some forward momentum. He'll be able to dodge those.
So, Raptor, how can GGWP get back into this game?
They got to make a play for B, Zath, in my mind. A is lost. You have no tools to get back into that cap. It's over. But you maybe have the possibility to make a play for B.
Okay, and you can see Giuseppe's doing just that.
Yeah, the St. Vincent has chosen to move up into A, so you have a window for the moment. He's sort of stopped right here. He'd have to reverse to get his guns into mid. So for the moment, Peyton is useless. He has nothing to shoot at, and no targets and no lines we're shooting at. So you gotta get onto B. But the other thing, but more importantly, you got to bag a kill, and that's where the challenge comes because I just don't know where they're gonna do it. Most of these resin ships are very healthy. They've traded very, very smartly, and I just don't know how they're gonna pull it off.
Yep, I don't know either. As Elgar, we got dual radars going up here.
All the radar.
Venn diagrams drawn, circles drawn on the water all over the map.
Indeed.
I think Velas might be the one in most trouble, but we'll see. Ooh, Giuseppe got slapped.
Yeah, Giuseppe taking a solid hit from the Vermont there as he was trying to put shells on Big Boy, which he got some shells there, but not as big a hit as he needed. Now Giuseppe getting into a secondary fight with the Des Moines. Remember, Giuseppe, as I recall, not running a secondary build on this Ohio.
No.
Nope. He's running some range, but nothing else.
Yeah,
big Ohio shell salvo going in. Big hit.
Artillery plotting room does an impact on secondary range. It's a small one, not as much as the secondary module.
It's like 5% or something, right? Yeah. That for Monsalvo not nearly as effective on Giuseppe as they do flip the B cap. But if you're Resin now, I think you can start to rotate some units, and you see Peyton making the realignment. He's reversed. He's trying to get his rudder over to starboard to make this turn to get his guns pointed back into mid.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of time with that decision to go to A there.
Yeah, Giuseppe unfortunately caught out trying to reverse into the smoke, and he's not going to live to make it.
Nope. Nice job, Elgar, surviving that.
Feels like maybe they should have brought him in and then hung him out behind the island, but they are going to lose Elgar as well.
Yeah.
Feels like only a matter of time before enough of these shells connect, and there it is.
He did his job.
He did exactly what they needed him to do.
It's like Cisco and AR-558. We hold.
And so now, a beautiful line of resin ships running across the map, playing defense, trying to pick up kills where they can, knowing they only have to hold on for 2 minutes before they can pick up a win.
Yep, big hits there on Resin White's Minotaur at the very southern part of the map. Triarch in his Des Moines, catching a glimpse on him thanks to Mad Dog getting out. Look, Mad Dog's even opening up. He's like, yeah, let's try for this. Let's go for it.
Yep.
Velas goes down. Peyton gets him.
Big kill from Peyton. As now Frice and $1.99 looked like they might want to wrap the top of the cap, but either way, they're sitting at the other end of this island from Flying Doge and Yoshi, basically saying, okay, you want to come into the cap, we're here for you. You want to leave the cap, we're here for that too.
Resin White's about to take a torp, and that'll do it. Ding, fries are done.
Game. Well played to both teams, but it's Resin that comes out with the win here in game 1.
Absolutely, and Deathpick with smoke. Good times. Button. Who's got the button?
Bam. Bam. There we go. Awesome.
Bam.
Bam.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game 2. RESIN versus GGWP. RESIN up 1 game. This is a best of 3 matchup. Winners bracket 2.2 on Estuary, one of the newer maps. Let's take a look at the lineups here for RESIN. They've got Frice in a Harugumo, 420 Blaze It with reload. Next to him is Algar, the Smoke Hider, this time in a Des Moines. Actually, I think that's what he was in last time as well. Unique upgrade for him.
Correct.
Following him is another Harugumo. That is Mad Dog 2427. Same build as Frice, 420 Blaze It.
No. Mad Dog is running concealment, not unique.
You're
in
right.
slot 5.
You're right. He's going for the clean living, as Puddin likes to say. $1.99 for Guac is now in a Petropavlovsk and range build. Heading to the other side is yet another Harugumo, Eagle Lance, in 420 Blaze It build there with reload. Triarch in front of him and unique upgrade Des Moines. In the backfield, Big Boy 69 deciding he wants to go to the next battle already, going the wrong way in a Stalin range mod. Point of note, the wrong way because he needs to be so far back. This map is smallish enough. He gets spotted early. He can get slapped early, so that's a smart decision there. He's probably going to Charlie 1-2 island position. Vermont K-Bomb is Sniper Spec, and Peyton the Rock Hider is at another Vermont, also Sniper Spec. What do you know? All right, what do we got down south for GGWP?
GGWP also playing very wide, very back from these caps early due to the size of this map and how kind of compact it plays. Let's start over here on the D flank. There are 5 Harugumos in this match, Zath. So GGWP's Harugumo over here on the right flank. That's Fuzzballs also running a 420 Blaze It All, reload mod slot 6, range in slot Captain Skill 4 there. He's paired up right now with Destroyer of Elias's Gdansk, running reload concealment and a little bit of gun reload. Rest in White's Des Moines backing them up. Legendary mod top grade gunner. Mabuki's Montana. Mostly it's kind of a mixed build. A little bit of everything there. He's got a little bit of brisk, a little bit of adrenaline rush, fire prevention, concealment, so on and so forth.
Utility build.
Yeah, very utility. Their only ship in mid here, flying Doge's Napoli. An odd choice to be playing mid. He's running SAP secondaries, of course, with secondary module and gun range in slot 6. 4 ships headed to the left flank. That's Bullet Justice's Harugumo and that 420 build we're used to seeing, although notably he's not running gun range. In Yoshi's Manitar, right behind, backed up by Godoza's Petropavlovsk, range and top grade gunner, and Giuseppe's Montana. Very similar build to what we saw on the other side of the map.
Yes, I do believe he's got artillery plotting versus turret traverse. Reminder, Gearing and Moskva banned for this particular game.
All right. Well, early deployments have everybody... You know, we've seen teams take different approaches to Estuary. Some teams charge one or even both of these central caps, which are a bit risky. In this instance, basically, neither team wanting any part of the B or C caps. Both teams seemingly want to get on a flank and lock down that flank before even considering looking at the middle of the board. Each team running a 4-ship setup on each side of the map with one kind of odd man out. The difference is that GGWP's odd man out is Doge's Napoli here in mid.
Yep.
The odd man out for RESIN is the big boy Stalingrad right here at the top of this island in Delta 4. This gives them perhaps a small edge on this flank, depending on how the battle shapes up.
Yeah, I think the idea about the Stalin position is it allows him to decide where they want to deploy him, one or the other.
Exactly. He's got lots of flexibility from that slot.
Absolutely. Well, we can play Count the Smoke Screen. I count 4.
I count 4. I tell you, Sad, I really like Godoza's Petro position, right? His radar covers the entirety of A and B from there. His guns look towards B, but if he needs to, he can edge up and probably fire those guns over the low end of this headland off his port bow if they're firing far enough in the distance. I think that's a really solid spot for that cruiser.
Yep, I think here's the thing. Ships are finding good, solid places to sit, but of course, positioning is part of this.
Well, we're 5 minutes in. Nobody's on a cap. Nobody's even really all that near a cap necessarily.
Or taking damage until right now.
Yep. Doge's Napoli is about to ease his stern into the B cap. I'm sure that's going to draw some interest from the opposing team. We'll see how they respond.
I mean, K-Bomb is already backing up. So, yeah. Smart of Doge, by the way, to put the Napoli's plane up to do some scouting for him, see if there's anything around. Also,
he's catching the Vermont and Stalingrad. He can see them.
Also, we saw earlier, $1.99 for Guac kept on dumping ASW, trying to catch something with anti-air.
Yep.
But Flying Doge is like, nah, I know that trick.
Yep.
Anti-air off.
They get eyes on Doge there as the Stalingrad radar comes up and the Vermont shells come in, but no damage exchanged.
Yep.
Doge is going to be able to just weather this radar and then reverse back in and try again. And if they want to catch him again, it's going to have to come from $1.99's Petro radar on the other side.
Yep.
Both teams, Zaf, almost look like they're set up to kite on each flank. Like they sent all of these ships to the flank, and then nobody wants to go touch a cap circle.
Well,
because they know it's going to bring just wall of death.
And that's exactly what I was saying earlier, right? Is everybody's taking up these nice fixed defensive positions that, of course, have all been scouted and figured out for why they're going to those positions. But aside from Flying Doge's Napoli, nobody's really like playing the game, playing for the objective. You know what I mean? Like it just feels odd. It's like
I know exactly what you mean.
Sitzkrieg.
Do get some blind fire in on Doge as Big Boy Stalingrad has now made his decision. Hovering here in D4, left. Do I go port? Do I go starboard? He ultimately chooses port.
Goes for the port. Good choice. I like port.
Got a bottle for you next time you come down. You should check it out.
All right, booking my ticket tonight. Looks like Doge has decided he's done with that. Maybe he did his job, which was, troll the Stalingrad, get him to come down. He's just going to go to the other side and be like, all right, well, let's go here.
I think what he's realizing is that over here, even fewer ships have shots on him. He's going to put his plane up again, which means he's going to catch a glimpse of the Stalin's new position right there.
I mean, this is just... It's like he's playing a thief or something. He's just going around. Yeah. He's going to pickpocket you, but he's testing the waters before he does it,
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah. Jeez.
Well, a whole bunch of angry smoke clouds staring at each other right now, Zaf.
Yep. Now, I didn't catch it. Fuzzball's down below half. Must have taken a torpedo or two from Eagle Lance's Harugumo.
Ooh, yeah. They catch Velius's Gdansk on a Petro radar. They put the radar up looking for Doge.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get any shells on Doge, but they do get some shells on Velius instead.
Well, actually, there are a couple of shells that came in very close.
Big shells on Velius.
Yep.
Wow.
Even bigger.
Yeah. Velius's Gdansk really getting hammered for a radar that wasn't even meant for him. I feel like maybe that was a bit of a mistimed coordination, right? Because if as soon as they touch on that cap, they're going to draw somebody's radar on Doge, right?
Well, I think the problem was Velius opening up when he was detected on that radar immediately, it looked like. So that 6-second delay goes away, right? Now all of a sudden he's like, I'm here! Everybody just shot at him. I don't know. Maybe he thought he was in Ragnar, because he was in Ragnar last game.
We are 9 minutes into this game, Zaf, and no one has scored any points.
Right, and barely anybody has lost any hit points, too.
Well, we have one or two ships on each team, typically a destroyer that is starting to show some wear, right? Fryce's Harugumo looking really rough over there along the 2 line. Fuzzballs and Velius, of course, not looking so great along the 9 and 10 line. But beyond that, just about everybody else is feeling okay about their life.
Yeah. Now, Doge is in the C cap. He's got half of it done. There's 17 seconds to go until he caps it.
I don't even think K-Bomb's guns are going to reload in time for that. Well, he's fishing again.
10 seconds.
Nope, too long.
Well, his plane's down. He can't get close enough to the island.
Yep.
All right. He does get
Doge, it. After almost 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we finally have some positive points on the board. GGWP sneaks the C cap on the back of the Napoli, and we're off to the races.
This is probably the most passive game that I've cast in COTS.
In a very, very long time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, yeah. I feel like we've seen games this passive, but it's been a while. But yeah, this is a thing.
I mean,
now,
yeah.
check it out, Zath. Yoshi's Minotaur is the one trying to get up here to cap the A cap. He's going to take a torpedo for his trouble.
Right at the butt.
Yep, right on the stern. The Harugumo smoke coming back for him. He is inside the Des Moines radar radius, but the radar's not up for 8 more seconds.
Yeah, here's the thing. As soon as that's up, it's going to go. And then what's going to happen...
I'm sure.
And look at where Elgar is shooting. It's odd because Frice got the torpedo hit. Frice is shooting exactly where the torpedo hit. Elgar is not. You would think that they would like click on the map and be like, yo, here. Speaking of mods, there's a mod where if you click on the mini-map, it shows up in your normal gun view, so you know exactly where to shoot.
I love that one. I use that one all the time.
It's a nice mod. It's a handy one.
Well, there finally comes the radar from Elgar with 17 seconds left, as now the cap points have all transferred to Bullet Justice. Yoshi backing off. They're going to force Justice out of the cap.
Mm-hmm.
Probably steal at least 5 or 10,000 of his HP along the way, I'm guessing. But it's ultimately, when that radar runs down, I don't think they can prevent this cap again.
Mad Dog's Harugumo has been adjusted now. Look at where he's going. He's going into B cap.
Interesting.
He's right next to the Napoli.
Right on top of this Napoli.
Mm-hmm.
Are they proxy spotting each other?
Not yet.
No, but it's close. It's very, very close. Napoli's plane is down. Mad Dog not on the cap yet. Boy, it's gonna freak Doge out when that cap starts to flip. He's gonna be like, man, he's right there.
Yep.
He's right there.
Well, Mad Dog expertly not going in. There's the proxy spot.
All right, they push Eagle Lance into D, but the GGWP defense managing to hold him off, drive him off this cap. They do proxy spot each other very briefly. Mad Dog has to pull away.
Yeah, Fuzzballs is in trouble.
I think Yoshi's finally going to get this cap, Zath. Ooh, Fuzzballs is in big trouble.
He's caught bow in on radar. Triarch has another 18 seconds of radar.
Yep. He's dead. He's dead, and he knows it, I think. He can try and juke, but in the end, it won't matter. If he survives this, it'll be a miracle, and he doesn't.
Crucial first kill for RESIN.
Big first kill for RESIN. That gives them their first positive points of the game, but for the moment, it doesn't matter. It's not enough to change the lead, but for maybe a split second. GGWP still ticking up points. Mad Dog now rotating to C, realizing that's going to be a problem and that there's nobody who can do anything about it other than the Napoli. Yoshi finally bags A. Man, what a slow game. 7 minutes to play.
I know. Right?
We're not even... No, neither team has 300 points at the moment. RESIN had gotten... I mean, GGWP had gotten there, and they got slapped down below it again.
I have a feeling this is one of those games that... I mean, there's 6.5 left, 6 and change, so give it about 2 minutes, folks, and then everyone's just going to start dying.
Yeah, either that or it's going to be... Or we're going to get all the way to the end with 8 ships alive on each team, and the score is going to be 440 to 460 or something silly.
Yeah, that's a possibility, too. I don't think so with these teams, though.
RESIN steals the C cap away as Doge's Napoli is going to sneak his second cap of the game. There he goes. So now the cap advantage returns to GGWP. They will start to build a small lead.
This is where you need that soundboard so you could do like the Skyrim, you know, sneak 100. Jesus.
Now, I will say this, Zath. If you look at the map, it feels like it's time for RESIN to push their advantage at D, and I think they finally realized it. The Vermont, the Des Moines, the Harugumo, all kind of moving down the D towards the D cap. I think they understand now that with the death of the Harugumo on that flank, there's nothing's really gonna be able to hold them back reliably for very long.
That's right.
So we're gonna reach cap parity here shortly after 15 minutes of play.
Yep. Triarch actually not going down. He's decided to stop for a little bit. I think they're testing the waters. I think they want to see, is there going to be a radar at D or not?
They don't know where the Des Moines is or not, or the Gdansk even. Reston White's radar is available, but at this point, he's opting not to use it, and I think that's the smart play. By the time the shells got there, Eagle would have had the cap anyway.
Well, using it, it says, hey, there's somebody nearby. Not using it might make them think, right?
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know. All right, so a static situation now. It's a 70-point lead with 5 minutes to play for GGWP. As Godoza takes 10K through his deck from the Vermont. Woo!
Well, yeah, and
That's gotta hurt.
$1.99 for Guac also took some Mabuki shells in the Montana. So both cruisers taking some hits, but they're still kicking for now.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Doge
Zaf,
just trying to sneak back to their side again. Yes.
I look at a game like this and I think that maybe this is why Estuary might not come back next season.
Uh-huh. Once teams kind of figure this out, right, it becomes a very static, boring game.
Well, it's been interesting, right? Because you and I have seen some interesting games on Estuary. This is not one of them.
This game I like. This one I do not.
This one I do not. Yes, exactly. And the thing of it is that what I've been wondering, what I've been curious of is as the game matures, right? As the tournament matures and more players play this, are we going to see more game? You know, what was Estuary going to look like? What was Pharaoh going to look like? We haven't seen Pharaoh today yet, but if this is what Estuary is going to look like, I don't think you're going to see this map again.
Are you telling me Sarah was right?
What do you mean?
He told me, he said Pharaoh is going to be picked more than Estuary.
It wouldn't shock me. All right. Mad Dog trying to get into B to see if they can sneak Resin the lead as we're getting close to the end of the game here.
Yep, 3 minutes to go.
They've got eyes on Doge. They're fishing blindly for Mad Dog for a reset. They don't have it. They're not getting it. They know he's on the cap edge, but they're looking too close to the island when he's out in the open water, and they have no way to spot him from the Napoli here. 5 seconds.
Yep. All right, Mad Dog's going to get the cap.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
Right there. All right, so now it's a cap advantage for Resin. They'll start to close this gap, and they will eventually overtake in the time that we have left. Now the shoe is on the other foot. It's up to GGWP to make something happen. That's
right, and at a certain point, you got to just W.
I keep wondering, like, okay, fellas,
I'm looking back at Yoshi. I'm looking at Godoza. Even Bullet Justice, who just made Inky all the way on the border.
You know, Zath, I almost feel like you have to take the Monty, the Petro, the Napoli, and just shove them in the B cap.
You take everybody and shove them. Doesn't matter at this point.
Or you have to, or I would say you wait to the last minute and you hope that you get the kill at the right time without losing the ship, right?
Look at Doge. Out from underneath the Stalingrad's nose.
I mean, he's right in front of the Stalingrad. He's not ever going to get this cap. He wasn't able to get on top of it, so it's a 20-point lead and shrinking now because and growing still. Apologies for Resin. They're just not ticking it up as fast.
Doge actually doesn't get hit here. He might have found a safe place, although K-Bomb...
Oh my goodness. Nope, K-Bomb did not take that salvo at Doge. He shot somebody else. But remember, this just gets them back to parity. Frice is coming in, trying for the resets. I don't think he's going to get it in time.
I think
he does.
Yep.
Just barely in time.
Yep.
90 seconds to play in this game, which has been arguably the most boring game of King of the Sea we have ever seen.
I mean, just, guys...
I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This isn't fun to watch. This is irritating.
Get your pillows out. It's just... I mean, if I were to title this game, I would title it Pillow Fight, because I really do feel like GGWP and Resin brought pillows to this game.
This is a snooze fest. GGWP needed to do something 3 minutes ago, and it's 60 seconds on the timer, and they're still playing like they're timid. It's like, guys, do you not look at the timer? Do you not realize what's about to happen? Not only do you have to flip a cap, you have to get a kill. Where you going to get it? You better be quick. Time's
1 minute. 1 minute.
You going to burn down the Vermont in 60 seconds? Good luck.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
So, man, you know, I could have had lunch.
Yeah. I know, right? I mean, so here's the thing. I'm a little salty, but I cannot really fault the teams necessarily.
Oh, absolutely not.
This cap configuration on this map plays very, very awkwardly.
Oh, look at this.
Lightly.
Doge trying to use his smoke screen, and Big Boy 69 just hits W and proxy spots. Oh, Mabuki goes down. That'll do it.
Yeah, that's definitely going to lock this up. So a couple of kills from Resin make the difference, as board control basically doesn't mean anything here.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, they should have charged. They should. I mean, in my mind, there's a lot of different things that I could have thought of that game, right? But I just feel like GGWP, once they lost that ship, once they lost their Harugumo over on the 10 line, they were just like, oh, we don't know what to do now. Like, it just felt like they didn't know what to do. And I don't know, man. That was not exciting to watch.
Yep. Well, either way, congratulations to RESIN, 2-0-ing.
Well
GG.